Yeah.
It's no secret, it's plain to see. I love you, and you love me. It's no secret.
All right. So I am going to get started. All right, you guys. Hello, hello. I know I am on a couple platforms right now, simulcasting. So I'm going to be looking here. I'm going to be looking over here. So you guys bear with me while we're doing this. Ladies, it is International Women's Day. So, yes, everybody, tell another woman today that you appreciate them and how amazing they are. I feel like that is something that not only just because today is International Women's Day, but just every day we need to kind of give each other that encouragement, give each other, that little boost of confidence because sometimes we all just need that along the way when it's our day, week, month, throughout the year, whatever it is, we kind of just really always need that little bit of encouragement. So wanted to get on here because I know I have gotten a lot of new followers on all of my different platforms lately, and I wanted to kind of just give some of you guys, especially on my Facebook platform, I wanted to give you guys just a little bit of who I am. A lot of you have been following me for a while. You kind of know my story, you know what's going on. But there are a lot of you who are new to my page, literally. When I say new, I mean you found my page because I posted something funny. And you're like, wait a minute, who is this person? What does she do? How did I get this page? A lot of people are finding me on YouTube. They're finding me on Fireside Chat. They're finding me Instagram. And so it's just one of those things where I say, you know what, let me just go ahead and do this for today. And then don't forget on Friday I will be on Facebook for National Women's and Girls HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. That is on March the 10th. I will be on there giving some information, statistics. We're going to be talking about a lot of things that are going to be dealing with women and girls' health on Friday. So make sure that if you're not following me on Facebook, on my Ladybird page, that you are following me there. And definitely, let's get into it. So, most of you guys know me as Ladybird. My first name is Renee. I am Renee. Uh, just to kind of give you a little background, I'll be 40 this year. I'm excited to turn 40. I am. I don't feel old at all. Yeah, right. I feel a little ache and pain every now and then, but I kind of just wanted to um let you guys know, hey, yeah, I'll be 40. I know some people don't like, oh no, you're not supposed to ask a woman their age. I'm perfectly okay with it. Yes, I am proud to say that I will be 40 this year because I don't look 40, do I? Do I look 40? Hmm, do I? Tell the truth. You can tell the truth. I won't be mad. All right, so uh just that little background. I both of my parents are still married. They'll be married next year. It'll be 50 years that they'll be married. I have one brother. I have many, many other God-given brothers and sisters, people who I call my brother, call my sister, and so many amazing friends that I have. And a lot of them have been with me through this journey. They've been with me. Some of you guys, literally, there are people on here I've known since elementary school that watch me and that still are my friends and that follow me. And so I just really appreciate everyone who um has been on this ride with me. So, long story short, because we are going to make this a long story short, because I am not going to be on here too long. I don't want to bore you guys. And I've said this over and over. There's many videos where you can find this on social media. But I want to come on live and give people an opportunity who have been missing me live. Say, oh, I'm catching her live. If you want to ask, don't feel like you can't ask me questions. I'm gonna answer them again. I'm simulcasting, so if I'm not looking over here at Fireside Chat and I'm looking over here at Facebook or whatever, or I don't see your questions because maybe it's on YouTube or wherever it's at, I'm gonna catch them all. So I have, as of November 21st, 2007, I have been diagnosed as being HIV positive. Now, when people hear that, even now in 2023, a lot of people hear that, and there's this fear, there's this stigma of, oh my God, you have what? Oh my God, are you dying? Oh my God. Like, there's so many misconceptions in the 21st century about HIV and AIDS that a lot of people, um, they just don't know. And that is what I do. That is what I do in sharing my story and doing the things that I do with educating others, making sure you guys understand what's happening, what's advances are going on, what's taking place. I try to make sure that you guys know things are not like they were. Yes, in the late 70s, 80s, early 90s, even going into the late 90s, the HIV virus and the AIDS epidemic was crazy. It was something that if you heard someone say they had AIDS, you would probably run the opposite direction. And so I'm here now to just say that that is not the case now here in 2023 at all. You better not run from me. I'm going to get my fishing line. I'm going to throw it out. And I'm going to wheel you back over here and say, hey, why you running from me? What's the problem? Let's have a conversation. No. But no, seriously, it's just all about having a conversation and having people understand that this virus is, I can't give you this virus if we're not having sex. If I'm not bleeding and you're not bleeding, I can't give you the virus. I can't cry on your shoulder and give you a virus. I can't hug you. I can't drink behind you and give you this virus. There are so many misconceptions about this virus. And so for me, getting this diagnosed 15 years ago, I was thinking that I was in this marriage and in a relationship where it was monogamous. I'm thinking, hey, here I am being faithful. Here he is being faithful. Here we are getting married, and we are going to spend the rest of our lives together. This is where I'm at. I grew up in a very traditional family where it was, you get married, you have kids, you live happily ever after. Kind of almost like that fairy tale thing, but not so much. But it was just one of those things where that was instilled in me at a very young age. I saw it. My grandparents, my mother's parents, they had been married until my grandfather died. My parents, again, this year be 49 years that they've been married. I saw people in church because I grew up in church. I saw them being married. Um, and being with someone who they probably had been with since high school. Just seeing these examples instilled into me, hey, I do want to get married. I want to have this relationship that is going to stand the tests of time. And so, meeting this guy, actually being introduced to him by his own mother. Again, as friends, we weren't never initially introduced to dating. I think when people found out we were dating, a lot of people were like, what, y'all dating? Because we didn't like just tell people, oh yeah, we're dating. Oh yeah, when he come and see his mama, yeah, he coming to see me too. We didn't just broadcast that out to family and friends and things like that. But once we said, hey, we're getting married, it was not even a thing of people questioning anything. Everybody was happy. They was like, oh yay, this and that and other. And then it just becomes this whole I feel like I don't know if I want to call it a conspiracy or I mean, I definitely would call it a betrayal. I would definitely call it just everything but good. in the end. Someone said, how's your family been supportive of this? My family has actually been very, very supportive. My parents have been very open about understanding and learning the things that I deal with, the things that I go through. Maybe I'm not always having a good day. Maybe I have a day where I feel like I don't want to do something, or I'm not in the mood to talk. You ask me a question, I might brush it off. They understand when I get in modes and moments like that, that it's okay. They know to kind of give me a little space and to let me be. Um, so yeah, it's not weird with my family. They understand. The weird part about it is the fact that my ex-husband's mother is still a part of my family because she's married to my mother's cousin. She's married into the family, and so it does get awkward moments when we have certain things like funerals, certain events. Like most of the things I avoid if I feel like she's gonna be there, but if it's a funeral, I'm not gonna avoid um a funeral for someone that I absolutely care about and adore in my family because she's gonna be there. No, she's just gonna have to be uncomfortable with knowing I'm gonna be there. I don't know. It doesn't make me uncomfortable. Hey, it doesn't. But definitely can put me through some moments of emotions for sure. But it doesn't bother me. Uh let's see. So November 21st, 2007 is when the doctor gave me my diagnosis. That doctor came to me. This is a couple months after we got married. This is months after we got tested, because we did get tested before we got married. My test came back and said that I was negative. He told me, because we had agreed when we got our test results back, we would sit in front of the doctor. We would tell each other our test results. And I told him in front of the doctor my test was negative. He told me he was negative, and that's what we went on. Far as he knew I was negative, far as I knew he was negative. And that's what we went on moving forward. And that was negative for everything, not just HIV. We had a whole STD panel done, negative for everything. And because I trusted him, and I'm like, okay, he's trusting me. And we're both sitting in front of this doctor, and we are telling the doctor we're negative. Now, what I did not know at the time, and if you guys really want to get deeper into this story, there's other videos where I really deep dive into the details of this. So I'm not giving you full details right now. And then I also have my autobiography that I self-published. So there are many ways that you can deep dive into this story if you have not heard it in full for the first time. And so yeah, at that time, I'm assuming that we are both in our separate rooms. We're getting tested. I knew I was in my room getting tested. And, I'm under the impression he's in the other room. He's getting his test done, because if you ever went for any type of STD testing, sometimes and most times they will take you into separate rooms, do their testing, their counseling, ask you questions, and do everything they need to do. And that's what we did. We went in separate rooms. We were tested at his primary care physician, because not only were we getting married, but I wanted to also establish myself as a patient with the family doctor who we would have because we're getting married. This is a family practice. I wanted us to establish ourselves as, me establish myself as a patient, meet his doctor who he's always seen, and, have this newness that was happening for our family at the time. And so at this time, this is 2007. There's no quick test in 2007. You go and get your blood draw, and you come back in 2 weeks, and we are going to tell you your results. So we waited 2 weeks. They let us know, hey, your results are back. Come into the office. We made the choice to come into the office to sit in front of the doctor together and share our results. And so that's what we did. That is what we did. And moving forward, I knew I was negative. I knew he was negative. Now, the part that I didn't know was that while I was actually getting tested, he's in the other room um talking to the doctor. What is the doctor telling him? The doctor's telling him in the other room that he knows that he's HIV positive. He knows that he needs to tell me, and that he needs to tell me he's HIV positive, especially if he's saying that we are about to get married. The doctor is letting him know. So the doctor is doing what he's supposed to do as a doctor and is telling him, you need to disclose your status to her. Well, what did he not do? He did not tell me. He did not do what the doctor asked him to do. He did not tell me his status. He didn't. Um, and he assured the doctor, this is the crazy part. So he actually assured the doctor that, hey, I'm going to tell her my status. The doctor trusted him. This wasn't a new doctor that he had. This was a doctor that he saw regularly. So this doctor trusted him being his patient. But the doctor didn't know that his patient was not going to be truthful. His doctor could not tell me. So a lot of people, they like someone said in the comments, I wish the doctor would have told you. I wish the doctor could have told me, because I worked in the medical field prior to my diagnosis. I was a medical assistant phlebotomist. So I was very well educated on this virus prior to ever going through this and becoming infected. Had there been a way for the doctor to tell me, he would have. I knew. I just walking into any medical situation, I already know what doctors can and can't do, what nurses, what people that work in these facilities can and can't do. That doctor can't tell me everything. Yes, would we love for that to happen? Absolutely. But I knew, and that's why I will never sit here and ever fault the doctor for not telling me, because by law, by HIPAA law, by Privacy Act, this doctor could not disclose anything about him to me unless I was a person that was on his medical records as a third party to receive that information. And so I definitely, knew all of this. And that's why I tell people now, when you're going to the doctors and when you are with your partner, if this is a lifelong partner, if it's your spouse, when you're going, you need to be on your partner's third party information and they need to be on yours. This eliminates any confusion. This eliminates anybody saying, oh, well, you hear this from me. No, give your spouse that um that ability, because what if something does happen, and your partner does have to reach out to your doctor's office? Guess what? When they go through your chart and they don't see anybody's name on that third party, they can't give out information. They can't do anything. I am not my parents' spouse. I'm their child, but I am also listed on their medical records as a third party person who can call their doctor's office. I can make appointments. I can call and get information about testing. I can do things on their behalf because I am listed on this third party information sheet. So this is one of the most important things that I try to tell people, is do this. Have your partner, your spouse. Now, when I say partner, I'm not saying your girlfriend you just met 6 months ago. No, someone you've been with. If we have a lot of people who consider common law, 10 plus years, things like that. I would consider that a life partner at this point. So that is something that you want to consider when filling out medical records and things of that nature. And again, it doesn't have to be a partner. It can be a parent. It can be a child, whoever. Let's see. I'm going to, and everybody who is watching over here on a Fireside Chat, thank you so much for watching. And I'm probably pushing buttons on here and I don't know what I'm pushing. So if I push something by accident and it tells you I pushed something by accident, I'm sorry. And I'm also here on Facebook. Thanks everybody. If you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, let me see. I know there was a couple questions. I did have to block somebody on Facebook. Y'all know I don't argue. I just block. I just hit the button. So I did have to come over here and do that for someone. Good morning. Paige said, how is that? So what part are you asking about? How is that, Paige? Jan says, does your ex-mother-in-law visit her grandchildren? Would be nice if she gave you some love and support. So Jan, to answer your question, no. She has never visited them, neither has he. So no one in his family has ever physically been in my children's presence. They have seen pictures, maybe saw them on video if they go on Facebook and look, but no one has ever physically been in their presence. No one has ever done anything for them. He does pay child support because that is his financial obligation to them. No one has ever told anyone that they could not do anything for the children. And for you guys wondering, and you're new, what children? So when I was diagnosed as becoming HIV positive, I found out also I was pregnant. So I actually found out I was pregnant first. That is what prompted me to have HIV testing done so close to the last time I had it done. So we had got tested before we got married. I was negative. Then here it is months later, I find out I'm pregnant after we got married. Find out I'm pregnant, I go in for prenatal labs. These prenatal labs do everything. They check you for everything you can think about. They're going to check you because they want to make sure that if you are pregnant and you're bringing another life into this world, they want to make sure that the baby is fine, that you're fine. And so they did the prenatal testing, and in my prenatal testing, it came back and said that I was HIV positive during my prenatal labs. And so my twins were born negative. They will be 15 this month. March 22nd, they will be 15 years old. And they are still negative. So don't listen to this whole thing about, oh, you can turn up positive years later. My twins were born negative. They are still negative 15 years later. There's no chance of them becoming positive because of their mom 15 years later or any years later. Okay? So, but yeah, grandmother doesn't see them. He doesn't see them. And I just leave it at that. As of December, I washed my hands of it completely. I said, you know what? I'm going to move forward into the rest of these years of my life, not worrying about what anyone does for my children if they don't want to do it. If he doesn't want to see them, if she doesn't want to see them, I'm okay with that because I do what I need to do for them, and that's what I feel is most important for them. To have people around them that are going to love on them and care about them, and it not being a question, or not being a question of their sincerity at all. So yeah, thanks for that question. Let's see. And I'm getting through these comments. I did scroll back. So yeah, Jan, I did block that person. Yeah, I blocked them. I blocked them. Let's see. The power of attorney. Can we request this at the hospital records at any time? So when it comes to power of attorney stuff, definitely that's something you want to consult a lawyer with, or even legal aid. There are some area legal aids that you can go to in your local area that can help you with certain stuff. Now, they're not going to just request medical records for you because you just want to be nosy and want to see what's going on. Now, that they aren't going to do. They're not going to just jeopardize their Hippocratic oath because you want to just get access to medical records. No, it doesn't work that way. Access to medical records has to be for legal reasons if you are not on those medical records. So basically, like, say if someone gets sick and you become their legal guardian or their power of attorney, then yes, at that moment you will be granted and obligated access to that stuff. But other than that, no. But as a power of attorney, that is something you should have obligation to do. Just make sure you go through the right steps to do that. Am I gonna finish my second book? So Catherine, I have 2 books currently. And I have 2 books currently. My first book, and let me put my little thing up so you guys can. So I have my 2 books currently. The first book is Married But It Can Happen. That is my autobiography. And my second book is HIV Around Me. That is a teen book. Teens and young adults. So I do have 2 books. So I'm working on a third book. I was going to have the third book come out end of last year, and then a lot of things took place. My aunt got severe seriously ill, so that was on my mind a lot. Just so many different things were taking place between now and the end of last year that I just put it on hold. I say, let me just focus on some other things. On top of me starting school back, and just a domino effect of things took place. So the third book is going to come. The third book is going to be more of a book to help people. And so yeah, but my other books, you can go and purchase them on my website, ladybirdofficial.com. They are on there for you to purchase. Um, you know, Erica, don't get blocked. Erica already know. Erica, you already know what I'm talking about. I'm not joining nobody's singles, nothing. I don't even follow that show no more. Don't get. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, goodness. So the third book is not out yet. I just have the two books. Uh Malik. Malik say I got to find him a wife. Malik, how long, man? I've been trying to find Malik a wife for years. I ain't found you one yet. I'm sorry, friend. We've been trying to get you a wife for a minute. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. What's going on, Malik? Anybody that's looking for a husband, a really nice husband. Malik is a really nice person. He's husband material. Holla. I am bad at promoting you as to find a wife, aren't I? I'm sorry, friend. And thank you to Anthony and Lisa who are watching me on Fireside Chat. I know usually after I'm done, I usually get a lot more people on Fireside Chat that see the replays and stuff. So, but thank you guys for listening. And if you guys have questions too, don't hesitate to ask me. I should be able to see. I think there's a little section where it says Q&A or something like. There's something, I don't know. There's a way to see comments. I think this is all like I haven't been live on here since all of these new updates. So yeah. I'm trying to get back into the swing of it. Hey, Anthony.
Well, hello, Renee. I'm just here just to say hello. How are you? And
Thank
I
you.
commend you. Yes, and I really do commend you for making yourself so vulnerable to give this information out to people because they need to know. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
bravo.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna be on here more. I started out last year when the app was like real hot, and took a whole year break. But I'm gonna start using Fireside Chat a lot more. I'm liking the updates on here, so I'm like, yeah. So definitely gonna be using Fireside a lot more. So you'll see me more on here.
Okay, yeah. I'm a creator here also, me and my wife. So we have several shows here. So,
Okay.
check us out when you get a chance, and we'll support you every way we can.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, I'm seeing now. I know oh, there it goes. Let me see. Okay, so I am following you. So I am want to make sure I'm following you. But okay, awesome. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And now I will get off your stage.
All right, you guys. So yeah, let's see. Looking at some more questions over here on Facebook. I'm trying to keep up. Y'all know I am so slow on Facebook because I try not to miss questions. And y'all be going. Y'all some chatterboxes on Facebook. Y'all are. Let me see. Hey, Terrence. I see Terrence over here. Let's see. Hey, Anthony. Thank you for sharing over on Facebook. Look, we got so many. Anthony is a very popular name. I know like 100 Anthonys probably. So Lynn, okay, I see a question from Lynn. Lynn says, so what are some of your symptoms, or what was some of your symptoms? So this is a really good question because a lot of people don't realize that most people who are HIV positive have never experienced any signs or symptoms. They've never dealt with anything with the virus. They've never been sick from the virus. Maybe medicine side effects at most. But when it comes to when you are Googling and Google is telling you, oh, you're going to see this, and this, and this. Most people don't experience those things. I've never had a symptom from being HIV positive. Never. So, and that's most people. That's probably about 95% of people who are diagnosed. And that's a lot of people that have never experienced any signs or symptoms of this virus. So, yeah. Hope that answers your questions. Hey, Stephanie. All right. Iris says, did he ever apologize? Child, I don't know if I would really call it an apology. I guess it was a more so of acknowledging his wrongdoing, so to speak. I don't know if I would ever really consider it an apology. It was just basically more so acknowledging something was done wrong. I know I did wrong. I should have done this. I should have said this. It was one of those things. But he has acknowledged his wrongdoing, and I guess at this point that has to just be enough for me, right? I wouldn't expect anything deeper than that, honestly. I know. Talking about what about? Oh, you was telling Malik to go on there, Erica? No, I wouldn't even let Malik go on there. Nope, Malik can't go on there either. Nope. No, anybody I know, look, I better not ever catch you on there. Mm-mm. Let's see. All right, you guys. So it is now 11 o'clock. So let me wrap it up a little bit because I'm a for those who don't know, I am now currently a teacher, the lunch lady, the custodian. I'm the PE teacher, the art teacher. I'm homeschooling a third grader. That's what it all wraps up to. I'm homeschooling the third grader. So we're gonna be doing some work at 11:30. But that's why I wanted to get on here ahead of time and come on here with you guys. Because originally I was gonna do this at noon, but I said let me get on here now earlier. Uh So just to kind of wrap it up. So yeah, so I was diagnosed when I found out I was pregnant, the doctor told me. And immediately when the doctor telling me, I kind of really I had an idea because there were so many things. You ever have those moments when it's like you don't notice things until after the fact. So like maybe something happens or you go through a situation and then you sit there and you think about it, it's like, wait a minute, that was a sign. Oh, that was a sign. That was a sign too. There were so many things that happened prior to this doctor telling me. Once she told me, it was like in my brain, it was like a VCR tape. Y'all know, I know I'm not the only one that's 40 plus years old who knows what a VHS tape looks like and use a VCR. You know when you hit that rewind button, that's what happened in my brain. Every moment rewinded in my head and I was like, "Oh shoot. How did I miss that? How did I miss that?" So there were a lot of things. And when she told me that, I immediately just said, you know what? He knew. All I could say was he knew. That was the only thing that popped up in my head was he knew. He knew, he knew, he knew. There was no other explanation. Because again, I knew I had tested negative when we tested months prior. And the only thing I knew at that time that I wasn't for sure was that did he really test negative? Because again, I trusted him enough that we sat in front of the doctor and we just told each other we were negative. Not at that moment did I know he was lying or that he lied and the doctor actually told him the truth. So through that whole process of finding out, the doctor telling me at my prenatal labs that I'm positive, me telling him, the doctor telling him, and him just being very nonchalant, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna deal with this. He even told me, don't tell nobody. We got in the car after that appointment. He said, don't tell anybody. And I'm like, what do you mean don't tell anybody? Oh, we'll get through this. We'll work this out. Everything will be okay. That whole spill or whatever. And then, time moves forward and then I find out after I leave. So I did leave. I made the choice to leave finally. And Once I left, then everything else comes out. Different things come out. Stuff about other women, stuff about him being with the man, stuff about look, my mama looking at like she looking a little disgusted when I said that. How you feel about that? Hey Nana. Oh, somebody sent that. If you got time, I'll show you. So yeah, stuff about another man, stuff about another a baby popping up in the picture. So yeah, he had got someone pregnant while we were married. She also
This what came to my house?
no, she also became infected with the virus. Um, yeah, just a whole lot happened. I ended up having him arrested, charged, prosecuted. He ultimately pled guilty. He served 5 years in prison. He was released March of 2012. Other people did come forward and say that they had slept with him, different things, but so many people were afraid to actually file charges on him because they were afraid their name was going to get out. They didn't want family and friends and other people to know that they had slept with him or that they potentially could have gotten infected by him. Just so many different things. There was one case that the state actually picked up. The state of South Carolina picked this case up. And that case ended up giving him, instead of putting him back in prison, they gave him 2 years probation. So for 2 years after he was released, he was given probation. And then, yeah, so I just kind of move forward with it, do what I need to for the kids. And like I say, he doesn't do anything. His mom don't do anything. I could be around her and be cordial. I was just around her the end of January. Hey, how you doing? And that was about it. You know, that was it. But yeah, so if you guys want to hear this story more in depth, I definitely have other videos on Facebook, on YouTube that you can watch that goes very, very in detail. Also, my website where you can purchase the books from. I'm going to see if I can put it over here on Fireside. And I know I have it scrolling across on Facebook. So if you go to ladybirdofficial.com, there's an option there's a tab that'll say books. And when you go there, you can click that and it'll show you both the books. It'll show you Married But It Can Happen, and it will show you HIV Around Me. Again, Married But It Can Happen is my autobiography. It basically goes in detail about this story, as well as some other things that I've endured before and after my diagnosis. And then the HIV Around Me is a teen book. And I think I have both of them here. Yeah, I can show you both of them. I have them here. So this is my autobiography, The Married But It Can Happen. This was released in 2013.
Why I never got a teen?
You have both of these books. I gave when this box came, Nana. I gave you one out
That's
of
a
it.
teen book right now.
Yeah,
Oh, HIV.
Nana trying to get y'all books. No, I'm just like. So
I'll
this
have to
is
try.
look. She said I ain't gotta try. So this is the autobiography, Married But It Can Happen, and then my teen book here, HIV Around Me. I have physical copies. It's both of these are on Amazon for purchase. My autobiography can be purchased anywhere books are sold. It's on multiple platforms, Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, everywhere. But I usually always direct people to Amazon because that's the easiest, right? So here's the teen book. Now the teen book, this one has 4 short stories in it. These are fictional stories. So I'm going to read to you what it says on the back just to kind of give you an idea and how this can relate to your teens if you have teens and young adults. So teenagers are faced with some of the most unbelievable and challenging situations you can ever imagine. Join me as I take you on a journey through the lives of 4 teens as they experience HIV and AIDS in some of the most unexpected ways. Meet a granddaughter who finds out exactly what kind of doctor her nana visits every 3 months. Find out what it means to have true friendship from the star athlete and most popular kid in school. Read about a dad who is torn between friendship, family, and morals. Then lastly, see why blood sometimes is thicker than water, literally. All right. So those are 4 stories in this book that I wrote, and those stories like when I wrote now listen, I wrote them. Now I'm not just bragging, I did write them, but after I went back and I read them, I was like, holy crap, did I just write these stories? And a couple of these stories I did pull from real life situations in my own life, and use those stories that I've experienced through life to kind of add to the fiction of them. Like, for example, the one, my best friend Jasmine, I made that story out of just a scenario that actually happened with me and my friend when we were little. We used to ride the bicycle to Taco Bell where she lived. And one time I fell in the middle of the intersection because I used to be scared to ride my bicycle off the curb. And I fell in the middle of the intersection. So I kind of took that part of my life and added that into the story and made a whole story around it. Um, and then just some things I saw, like I added some aspects in here also that give resources and definitions. So this introduces your teens and young adults also to definitions. It talks about what is HIV, what is AIDS, what is different things. Like it breaks it down in ways that they can understand it. Let me see. I'm trying to see where I can give you an example in here real quick of where it's 11:11. You guys, make a wish, manifest something amazing in your life right now. Let's see.
You want money to come in my life?
Oh Lord, y'all hear Nana? Nana say she needs some money. Nana say she needs some money in her life.
Big bucks. Big bucks.
Oh goodness. Okay, so here's a part in the book where I kind of break down, and this is in the HIV Around Me book. So this is a part where it kind of breaks down and explains it. So let's see. My nana then told me that she has had it for years. This is like after her grandmother tells her she's HIV positive. Before I was born. Then I was asked if I knew what HIV stood for, which I didn't. The doctor pulled out this tablet that had all of these pictures of what looked like blood cells and pills and paragraphs of words. The doctor asked me if anything looked familiar to me. I told him I wasn't quite sure, so she said that he would explain to me what HIV and AIDS were. He started by telling me that HIV is a virus that attacks your blood cells and the cells that help you fight infection. Sometimes they're called T helper cells. HIV stands for human immunodeficiency virus, and AIDS stands for acquired immune deficiency syndrome. He also told me that HIV is spread many ways. You can get HIV from having unprotected sex. Sometimes people get it from blood transfusions. Babies can get it from their moms and blood-to-blood contact. Everything the doctor told me sounded so crazy, I could not imagine my nana getting HIV from any of these ways. My mind was so curious, I just had to ask my nana which one of these happened to her. My nana told me that after her and my mom's dad divorced, she met a man who she thought was going to be the man that she would probably spend the rest of her life with. She said that because they talked about everything in life from past, present, and what they wanted in the future, she thought she knew everything about him until one day she watched him get really sick. So sick that he had to go to the hospital. When my nana went to go visit, the doctor told her that if she went in the room, she had to put on a gown because they didn't know what was wrong and he didn't want anyone else to get sick. So that is just a little part of what I put in here. So that kind of shows you like how I break it down for teens to be able to understand it. And they're reading it as a teen from a teen's point of view. So I had to literally write in this, take myself back to being a teenager. How would I talk? How would I think? How would I react to something as a teenager? And that's what I did with this teen book. So both of these are available on the website if you guys want to get those there. And I have them ship out, give you an autograph, put a nice little note in there for you guys. And that's it. So I'm just going to go over here on Facebook real quick and make sure I don't have any other questions that popped up that I need to answer. Any last minute questions you guys want to ask, do it now. Let's see. Thank you guys for tuning in as well. On everywhere, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on Fireside Chat, Facebook, yeah, I got all those going. Don't ask me how I did it. I don't know. I just pushed some buttons and it happened. I just did it. I don't know. Um, let's see. Yeah, don't be trying to get my friend on no Kendra G show. Mm-mm. We're not doing that. Um, Thank you, Malik. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Anthony and Lisa, who've been watching me over here on Fireside Chat. Thank you to everybody. I don't see any last minute questions. And don't forget, join me on Facebook. On Friday, I'm going to be Facebook Live. We're going to talk about National Women's and Girls HIV and AIDS Awareness. I'm going to be giving statistics for our women and our girls because, believe it or not, women and girls have the highest new infections that are happening. Our women are it. We are it. Yes, we know that African Americans are ranked when it comes to new infections and having the statistics for having being the ethnicity group that has the highest rates of HIV, but women are also in a high category when you look at sexual preferences. So yeah, not sexual preferences. You know what I mean. I can't find the word right now, but you know what I meant. Gender. Gosh, I drew a whole blank on the word gender. How that happened? But thank you guys so much again for tuning in and watching. And I just want to do this today because, like I say, Friday is going to be full. I'm going to be on. I'm going to be on Facebook doing that, and then I'm just going to be doing other stuff. So yes, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have an amazing Wednesday. Happy hump day. And I